everybody, we have a summon rush. One of my favorite times of the week, every single week, because it means that we get to pull shards without worrying about anything and have some fun chasing down some legendary champs. Guys, let's take a look at the summon rush for Foulbeard to see what exactly it has in store. Okay, so on my laptop it's not loaded in. On my phone it loaded in though, and the epic champion, I was right, we do have an epic champion in the summon rush. The epic champion is at 6,100 points. Now I gotta say, Plarium, that is way too expensive. It's just way too expensive. Normally it's around 4,000 points, I believe, making that 2,000 points higher than usual. That is not okay. So yeah, this is not cool, but we have to go for it anyway because I don't want to have to do a champion training event. So for that reason, we're gonna have to pull 14 voids, 2 primals, and 8 sacreds, guys. 14 voids, 2 primals, 8 sacreds. That is a hefty toll on my shard count, but we have 53 ancients and 1.7 mysteries, 1.7k mysteries, I should say. So it shouldn't be too bad. Hey, you, stop right there. Click the link in the description below to get a free Corrado as well as Fane, Ugo, and Vergus as you level up your account in Raid. Here's exactly how to do it. Log out of Plarium Play on PC and uninstall. Click the link in the description below and register with a brand new email. Log in and complete the tutorial. You'll find Corrado in your inbox as well as Fane, Ugo, and Vergus as you level up. If you're looking for a great start in Raid, this is your chance. Make sure you get your free Corrado as well as 3 free epics by clicking my link right away. Let's start with the voids and just work our way up. Hopefully we get at least 1 legendary from all these shards. I see a bunch of rares. I see a 3rd rare, Kurzad, Deepheart, Bloodhorn, Glensage. Hey, we got the rare champ. We got the rare champ for the fusion. That means we can skip an extra event. That is very good. He has a heal reduction. He has block debuffs, turn meter boost, and decrease accuracy on his A1. He's not terrible. He's really not terrible. All right. We have to pull 4 more. Let's see. That's a rare. We haven't even gotten an epic yet. Haven't even gotten an epic. Here we go. Gear Grinder. Wow. All rares. They are going to rare tax me. 1 more. Come on. Give us a void legendary. Let's go. Nothing. Nothing. But hey, you know what? We did get lucky. And we did pull the rare needed for the fusion, which is fantastic because that means we get to skip an extra event. So we can if assuming we get the epic champion from the summon rush, which I'm planning on doing, we can now skip 5 events. So that's great. That's great. All right. Oh crap, I need to lock in someone for the progressive. I forgot to. Okay, we got a rare though, so it doesn't really matter. But as far as the progressive goes, I want the new demon. I want the new demon, and I think I have her. Maybe Phoenix. It's tempting to go for Feral, but the new demon seems pretty strong. Where is he? I just want to go over his kit real quick. Oh, come on, he's not loading in. Okay, never mind. Guess I'm not going over his kit real quick. All right, well, that's all right. We'll go over his kit if... Okay, the game has been very laggy today. All right, we'll go over his kit if and when we get him. Here we go. Oh, we got an epic from our primals. Oh, it's Taurus. Okay, I don't mind Taurus. His A3, this champion receives damage equal to 99% of their current HP, places an unkillable buff on this champion for 2 turns, has an 80% chance of placing 5% poison debuffs on all enemies for 2 turns, books up to 100% chance on a 4-turn cooldown. A2 attacks one enemy, has a 75% chance, books to 100% chance of placing a 25% weakened debuff for 2 turns. And then his A1 attacks one enemy, heals by 20% of the damage inflicted if the target has a poison debuff. Not a bad champion at all. He has the 4 poisons, which is great for an epic. Won't complain about him. Won't complain about him at all. All right, so for sacreds, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to lock in the demon because he's new and I'd like to do content on him. We've got 8 sacreds. Here we go. Legendary. Nope, that is not a legendary. That is an epic. It's a new epic. Pestilus from the Knight's Revenant. What does he do? Attacks 2 times at random on the A1. Has a 30% chance of placing a leech debuff for 2 turns. That books to a 50% chance. Okay, that's not bad. Flames Within. Attacks one enemy. Has a 50% chance of placing a HP burn debuff for 2 turns. Heals all allies by 15% of their max HP if the HP burn debuff is placed. Fills the turn meters of all allies by 15% if the HP burn debuff is not placed. It's weird. Okay. And then Battle Weirding on a 5-turn cooldown, books to a 3-turn cooldown. Places a 50% increased accuracy buff and a 30% increased crit damage buff on all allies for 2 turns. That's a pretty weird champ. Ally accuracy in Doom Tower by 50 for the aura. A weird champ there. I've never pulled him before. Let's see. We got another epic. Soul Drinker! Hey! I'll take Soul Drinker. Okay, so Soul Drinker is my first and now only, other than like Fire Gun Isbel, bomb champion. He's a cool champ. So A1 attacks one enemy, decreases bomb debuff detonation countdowns by 1 turn. The A2 attacks 3 times at random, decreases bomb debuff detonation countdowns by 1 turn. The A3 Magma Blast attacks all enemies 2 times. Each has a 75% chance, books to a 100% chance of placing a bomb that detonates after 3 turns. And then his passive places 2 bomb debuffs on each enemy that detonate after 2 turns when this champion dies. So he can be, he honestly seems like a super fun champ. He looks super cool, and he can be used in arena to do some weird stuff by utilizing this passive where you just don't put any gear on him. You just build him with accuracy and nothing else. And then, yeah, and then you can revive him and he'll decrease countdowns and everything. He should be good for hard faction wars as well, so we're going to hang on to him. I've wanted to play around with a Soul Drinker for a while, so hey, I'm not upset about this pull at all. Could do some content on him. He seems like a fun champ. That's awesome. I'm not at all upset. Oh, we got a legendary. Oh, come on. This is like literally the most disappointing pull. It's Lord Champfort. All right, his A1 attacks one enemy, 75% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. A2 attacks all enemies, places a 50% decreased accuracy debuff and a 50% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. Passive, at the start of each turn on a 1-turn cooldown, places a shield buff on this champion equal to 20% of their max HP for 2 turns. Will place a 15% decreased speed debuff for 1 turn on whichever enemy attacks this champion. Good for faction wars, not good for anything else. To think that you have an equal chance to pull this guy as you pull a Newt. Come on. Okay, he needs a buff pretty clearly. He could be used for faction wars, I guess, but he's a debuffer and kind of doesn't do anything else. HP based. Lord Champfort added to the collection, I guess. He's a new legendary. Maybe he can do some stuff, but I don't have high hopes. Let's see. Got a Grizzled Jarl. I like Grizzled Jarl. Attacks all enemies, 75% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Destroys each target's max HP by 30% of the damage inflicted. Places a 60% increased defense debuff on all allies for 2 turns. Places a block debuff buff on all allies for 1 turn. 35% chance of placing a 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. Books to a 50% chance. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Mr. Grizzled Jarl there. All right, come on. Let's hope for one more legendary. Nope, we're not going to get one more legendary. Jarang ignores 25% defense on the A1, which is nice. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Has a 75 books to 100% chance of placing a stun. And then attacks 3 times at random. 75% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack debuff and a 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. And then speed in dungeons by 23%. Please, let's not have Lord Champfort be the only legendary. He's going to be the only legendary. Siege Hulk. Hey, I'll take Siege Hulk. He's a damage dealer for Ogren. Attacks one enemy, decreases the target's turn meter by 15% if the target is under a decreased defense debuff or a decreased speed debuff. Places a 50% increased attack buff on the champion for 2 turns, then attacks all enemies. Has a 75% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. Places a 30% increased crit rate buff and a 30% increased crit damage buff on this champion for 2 turns, then attacks one enemy. Has a 75% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff on the target for 2 turns. He's not bad. He can hit hard. He's a bit of a glass cannon, but he is kind of cool. All right, we've got 2 left, including this one that we're pulling right now. One more legendary. Come on. Marksman. Marksman's interesting. Attacks 4 times at random. Each hit has a 35% chance to ignore defense, which is kind of weird. Then attacks one enemy on the A2 here. Fills the turn meter of all allies by 20%. Has a extra 25% chance of inflicting a crit. And then attacks one enemy. Places a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns. If the attack is critical, has a 25% chance of granting an extra turn. He's not terrible, but he's not great. One more Lego. Nope. Did not get the Lego. That's okay. Occult Brawler. he's an interesting poison champ. So his passive places a 2.5% poison debuff on the champ for 2 turns at the start of each turn. Has a 70% chance of placing a 5% poison debuff on a random enemy for 4 turns at the start of each turn. But then Curse Eater attacks one enemy. If this champion is under 1 or more debuffs, this attack will ignore 30% of enemy defense. If this champion is under 2 or more debuffs, enemies killed by this skill cannot be revived. If this champion is under 3 or more debuffs, this attack is always critical. If this champion is under 4 or more debuffs, this champion heals by 30% of the damage inflicted. If this champion is under 5 or more debuffs, grants an extra turn, removes all debuffs from this champion after the attack. His A1 attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance of placing a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns. That goes to 60% chance. Guys, honestly, not a bad haul of epics at all. Not a bad haul of epics at all. Guys, we will go ahead and do some relic crafting. We should have gotten the epic. Unfortunately, it's not loading in or anything, so I'm not going to check it right now, but we should have gotten the epic. Let's go ahead and craft some relics here. Hopefully, oh, we got an epic. Hey! Oh, sweet. Golden elixir. I will take it. I will take it. Awesome. Malefic Talon. I will take it. These are great quality pulls. These are great quality pulls. And then the Mask of Rage. Okay. All right, then. We got a good haul. We got a good haul. Guys, I honestly can't complain too much about Lord Champ Fort because I just got too mythical. He's just a bit underwhelming is all. He is a bit underwhelming. I'm excited for Soul Drinker. This guy will make good content. We've got champion training going on, so he'll be good. He'll be a good one to take to 60. Quite excited for that, actually. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully, you got good pulls in your own shards, guys, if you're going for the summon rush. Remember that the luck may not grace today, but it can always grace tomorrow. Guys, I've been Felrus, sailing the seas of Raid Shadow Legends, and I'll see you in another video.